2.5 millimeter hook, and I'm using some light 3-weight yarn. So we're just going to chain 50. Okay, so starting in the second chain from the hook, so not this first one right here, but the second one, we're going to work 6 single crochets. One, two, three, 4, 5, and 6. And then we're going to chain 15. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Now this chain is going to be the armhole. So we single crocheted 6, chain 15, and then we're going to skip 14 stitches. So we need to count over 14 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And in the 15th stitch, we're going to put a single crochet, and then we'll work 10 more. 1, 2, till we get over to the other armhole. This right that what they're doing on right now is the top front of the little dress. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, oops, 9 and 10, and then we're going to chain 15 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and then we should have enough that we're going to skip 14, and then we'll have 6 left. So 1, I do not have the best light in here, and there's nothing that I can do about up above. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and we'll go into 15 here, and we'll do a single crochet. And hopefully I counted right, and we'll have 6 left at the end. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here's our last one, 6. Yay. Okay, so we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to turn. Okay, and then we're going to work double crochets across, starting in the second stitch. And so not right down here, but in the next one. Okay, I had to rework this part to show you because I lost my video somehow in the other. So we're going to keep working our double crochets into each stitch. And then when you get to the armhole here, you want to make sure that you're catching each stitch as you go across. This is the back of the chain. If you want to turn it so that you can see the front, that's totally fine, and I'll just go ahead and do that. So we're going to go into this first one here. There we go. Work our double crochet, and then in each stitch across, we're going to do that. And we should have a total of 15 across this armhole, because that's how many chains we allowed for. Okay, so I'm coming to the end here. I'm going to flip it back over because that's the last one of the chain. So when you get to the end, just make sure you don't miss the one. We've got the chain. Make sure you don't miss your first stitch right here in the body of the dress. Work your double crochet into there. And then just keep going. But you should across here have 15. So let's see, here's the base. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And then I'm in the base again. And then you would continue just on across to the other side here, the other armhole. Okay? There's a little tiny one that's easy to miss right here just as you're starting the part of the dress that isn't the armhole. And we want to make sure that we catch that one. Even though in crochet, to me, it's very forgiving. If you miss a stitch or something, it's a little easier than knitting. You just can add one somewhere or get along fine without it at all. I'll be glad after we get done with these little beginning rows here. They're kind of hard to work with because there's not much to hold on to. One more. Okay, and then we're going to chain 2 and turn our work again. So for the next row, we're going to double crochet across all of the stitches now. Again, not in this very first stitch down here. We're going to go into the next one. If you need to put a stitch marker in there so that you don't ever miss your last stitch, whatever it takes for you, feel free to do that so that your dress isn't getting wider or narrower if you either add stitch or lose a stitch somewhere along the way. I really like this variegated yarns, these little spools like this. They come in all the different colors. I think most of the outfits turn out really cute. And when I'm when I'm making little clothing for my grandbabies, I like to, not for my grandbabies, for my grandbabies' dolls and things, I like to use this 3-weight yarn or any other really lightweight yarn. I feel like when I use 4-weight yarn, that the outfits just feel kind of too bulky for the dolls. I can show you some of them uh, at some point what I mean, but and then my grandbabies, whenever I make something for them, I have to make sure that I use really soft yarns. One of my favorites is from Hobby Lobby. Uh, oh, I can't think of the name of it. I think it's called Big Secret or something. They come in these great big rolls at Hobby Lobby. And I'm sure there's other like baby weight yarns and things out there too that are the same thing. Because if I use worsted weights when I make my grandchildren something, then they complain that it's scratchy and they don't want to wear it. The other day, my granddaughter even told me that something I made her doll itchy. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that it didn't. But that's a kid for you. Most of the things that I make are for my grandbabies. They always, I'll see something and I'll ask them if they would like it for their doll, or they just see something themselves um, and come and ask me if I can do it, or it may just be something they made up in their own head and they want to see if Grandma can do it. I try. I'm not the fastest by any means with my old arthritic hands and being self-taught, not holding the yarns and the hooks the way other people do, but that's okay in crochet. Everybody doesn't have to do things the same way. You don't have to hold things the same. You don't have to be super fast like somebody else. Some people just love to be fast, and that's just not me. I just poke along and take my time on my projects. I don't know what it's like where y'all are at. I'm here in Kansas. It's kind of a gloomy, little bit sprinkly day, not too bad. The weather's cool. I really enjoy that. I just took a trip to Yellowstone and the Tetons, and while I was out that way, I, of course, went into Idaho, Utah, Wyoming, Colorado. Did I forget any? Did I say Idaho? I used to live in Idaho in Rexburg, and I wanted to go back to see where I lived and everything, but that town has really changed since I lived out that way. Okay, so that's our last one on that row. So now we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2. And for the next 2 rows, we're going to continue our double crochets. Okay, so I'll be back when I finish 2 more rows. Okay, so I've gotten to the last of row 5s, and I'm going to chain 1 and turn. Okay, we chained 1, and now we're going to do half double crochets all the way across, starting in not this first stitch right down here, but the second one. So we're going to yarn over into the stitch, yarn over and through all 3, yarn over into the stitch, pull up the loop, yarn over in all 3, yarn over into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and through all 3. And we're going to continue that until we get clear to the other end. Okay, we're at the end of our half double crochet row. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my work, and we're going to chain 2. And then we're going to, from here on, for this row, we're going to work 2 double crochets in each of the back loops. So you see the front loop, these are the front loops, the ones closest to me, and these are the back loops back here. So we're going to be working in these back loops only. We're going to put 2 double crochets in each back loop. So this is going to count as our first one here. So I'm going to put another double crochet in that back loop. And then the next one, we're going to the back loop only. Work a double crochet. Work another one in that same stitch. Next one, back loop only. Another one in that same stitch. And what we're doing is creating a little ruffle here. Plus, when we don't take both stitches, we're leaving this kind of little ridge here, these front of these stitches. So let's see, where were we? That was 2. Into the next stitch, back of the next stitch. Whoops, I didn't get my yarn over there. Okay. One more into that one. Back of the next stitch. Put one more in there. And we will continue until we get to the end of the row doing this. Okay, so we're at the end of our 7th row, so we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to turn. This is going to count as a double crochet right here, so we're going to go ahead and do another one right in that first stitch, and that will count as 2 double crochets. Then we're going to do a single double, 1 double crochet in the next, 2 double crochets into the next stitch. And then we're going to repeat that pattern. So the pattern's going to go 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, like that. So we'll put 2 into this one, 2, 1 in the next one, 2 into this one. And then we'll repeat that pattern. 2, 1 into the next stitch, and 2. And repeat the pattern. And I'm going to continue doing that till I get to the end of the row. I'm just going to repeat the pattern. 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, and so forth. Okay, so we've done our last crochet on row 8. So now we're going to chain 1, and we're going to single crochet up along this edge here until we get up to where we left that ridge of stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll just say 5 right here. Okay, there, chain 1 and turn, and then we'll chain 1 again. Then we're going to work 2 double crochets in where we made that ridge up here, at the back loop till we get to the end. I'm skipping right here where we attach, but I'm going to go in right here where you can see the edge of this starts. And I'm going to go into the back loops. Working 2 double crochets.
Grandma, I'm bored.
Sorry, dude. What you gonna do about it? Go clean up all the messes you made?
No.
Why not?
Can I watch TV?
Of course. So we'll just keep bending this down and working 2 double crochets in that, well, if I can get hold of it. That was 1, 2, and that back loop there. Okay, so then we did our chain 3. So we're going to do a treble crochet into the first stitch. So we wind our yarn around the hook twice into the stitch, pull up a yarn. We've got 4 on here. We're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so that's 2 here. In the next stitch, we're going to do 1 treble crochet. The next one we'll do 2. In the same stitch, we're doing 2. So we're working a pattern of 2, 1, 2. So that was 2. Make sure you keep the pattern. So we've got 2, 1, 2. And we're going to do 2 again in the next one. Whoops, started out doing a double. Okay, so we're going to do 2 treble crochets. There's 1. That's 2. Now we'll do 1 in the next stitch. Now we'll do 2. And we'll do 2 again because the pattern is 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2. Stop and check yourself every now and then to make sure that you're maintaining that pattern. So there's 1, there's 2, 2. It's time for 1. It's easy to get off, so you just got to pay close attention. Right now I've got myself talking and a grandbaby in the other room watching the telly. Today's her last day of school, so she got out early, and ta-da, here she is at Grandma's. So see, what we're doing is we've got this first ruffle here, and we're extending the bodice underneath here. And we're going to just keep doing this pattern all the way around till we get to the other edge. Okay, so now that we have rows 11 and 12 done of the triple crochets, and you can see how cute this is. You can see looks like I got little blotches, but that's where some of the green was, and then it finally starts turning to the green here. Usually when I do something with this yarn, it shows up a little sooner, but that's okay because we still have the shoulders to do, so they'll be green, and then close up the back. So what we're going to do right now is turn right sides together, and I'm at the bottom here on this side. So with right sides together, we're going to match this up. I'm going to chain 1 at the end of that last treble crochet row 12, and then we're going to match these together, and then we're going to stitch this with single crochets just till we get past this top ruffle here. We're going to go in here, single crochet, then we'll go in at these posts, single crochet, and you know, if you want to add more than one stitch in each thing, you know, like I did right up here at the end, I did the post, I'll do right here in the middle and then at the post again. But if you want to add more stitches, that's totally fine. It doesn't make a bit of difference. And the post, these are single crochets just to close up. So as I'm crocheting up here, I want to make sure that I'm matching the design, but I also want to catch both of these ruffles into the seam here, because I think that looks a little better. So on this one, I'm going to go in. You can kind of see this design coming along here. So I'm going to go in here, catch that, make sure I catch the edge of that. Push this up here. Make sure I catch the edge of this ruffle, making sure that I get above where the two ruffles start. Come out there. There it goes. Which is, you can feel it, it's kind of right in this row. So I want to make sure I'm going to go ahead into this one and ahead into the one on the other side that matches that. So that we've got our tops matched too. Okay, I think I'll put one more stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and put another stitch in through here because this is an area that's going to get a lot of tension and pulling as kids play with it. So then I'll go into, see this design right here, which is on top of that ruffle. Make sure I catch it on the other side here. And I think I'll put 2 stitches in there to reinforce that. Okay, then I'm going to chain 1. There we go. All right. You can kind of see the green stitches going up the back, but I'm okay with that. It's a kid's outfit for their dolls, so it's not the end of the world. If If this was something that I was going to sell to somebody or something, then I would most likely go ahead and match the threads going up, but this is totally fine. Okay, so we'll darn that thread in after a little bit. So now what we're going to do, okay, so then we're going to put our crochet hook right in here at the base of our chain, which is still the part that's a body. And I'm working towards from the inside of the outfit to the outside because this is going to kind of flop over that way. And I want my prettier stitches showing. However, some people like the wrong side of their stitches, and that's totally fine too. Let me get my string here. Just do a slip stitch here. And then I'm going to grab my tail because I want to work it in for a little while. Okay, so in the very first stitch, you can see the V's as these go along. That's the front of the stitch. Okay, got my tail. I'm going to wrap around, go into the first stitch here. Pull up my yarn. I'm making sure that I've got my tail caught back there so that oops, got too many. There we go. Put one more in there. Okay, I'll carry this tail along a couple more stitches. Double crochet, 2 into the next one. And we'll just keep going till we get over there to the other side. Chain 2. Then I'm going to slip stitch into here and chain 1, and then we will, all right. So I'm going to start right here in the chain on the body from the inside, the front inside. It's a little harder to work into chains if you're a beginner or if you have poor old hands like me. But there's no race. Have you seen that boy? I can't think of it. Jonas, I think is his name. Jonah. That he's a speed crocheter. That's cool and all that. And I'm sure he gets lots of projects made, but I have no desire to be a speed crocheter. I just come along and usually I sit in my rocking chair with it on my lap And it's a lot easier for me because that's the position that I've always done it in and I'm used to. But when I try to put it on a table to do it, then it just seems like everything goes wrong. It's just not the same angle and it's not the same distance away, and I don't know, it just seems harder to do. And it's hard to talk when you're crocheting too, when you're used to just sitting there watching TV or something. So, question, this has absolutely nothing to do with crocheting, but I have two cats. That one's all messed up. See what I told you? I think I missed. What did I do? I don't know. I have two cats, and they go indoor outdoor. They have a window that they are able to go in and out as much as they want to. And I was thinking about getting rid of the litter box because it seems like a lot of times there's not much of anything in there. So I think they go outside a lot. So I was wondering if anybody's ever had any experience with getting rid of the litter box, and did the cats do okay with that, or did they just come back into the house and poop and pee wherever they wanted to? So if you could just leave a comment down below or send me a private message about that. I would like to know what your experience was with that. That was my dog. He's outside, so I got to go let him in a second here, but I want to finish this first. Okay, where were we? 1, 2. Okay, so we're done with the actual ruffle of the sleeve, so we're going to come back into the body. So what I'm going to do is chain 2, then I'm going to slip stitch into here and chain 1, and then we will darn that in. Okay, so that's our 2 ruffle sleeves. Now what we're going to do is finish the back. And you can finish this in many ways. You can put just a piece of velcro on here. You can put a hook, iron hook, button, whatever you want to do. But what I want to do is go ahead and we're going to crochet up a chain, and then we'll just weave it back and forth, back and forth. I'm going to start way down here, and I'm going to just pull. I probably should get a larger crochet hook. I think that'd work better. I'm going to stick this, because all I'm doing is going to use it to pull this through. Okay, so we got one there, and I'm going to pull it through the other side. Okay. Make sure we've got both sides about even. I did a chain here of 100. I hope that's big enough. A little bit more on this side. Okay. So then I'm just going to cross it over, crisscross. So I'm going through this next post loop here, or this next post, and I'm going to grab it. I'm going to pull it through that one. I'm going to stop once I get it through so I don't snag anything. And then we'll do it over here on this side, and we'll bring through this one. Come here, you. Okay, there's that one. Let's loosen it up some. Excuse me. And we'll keep doing that. So this one comes over here. And go into this one, and this next one, we'll crisscross that. and bring it into this one. Okay. That's making a real cute, with the contrasting colors, it's really cute to go up the back like that. So we'll go up here now, and we'll pull this one through again. Okay. And then we'll cross this one, and we'll go up here to this. This one's the one we want. Okay. So that's looking pretty cute. Okay, so let me get my baby doll and let's try it on her. Okay, so I found this baby doll. My granddaughter has been here, and she takes all the dolls and plays with them. And so I'm not quite sure what she did with them, but I know she stole my pillowcases, probably for a bed for the dolls. So that's pretty cute, I think. So anyway, my idea was, or plan was, whoops, I think, there we go. Let me get that untangled there. Okay. So and the thing about this is you would need to have a child that could tie it to do this, or have their parent tie it. A lot of times I close things up with Velcro. You could use an iron hook. You could use, I suppose, a snap if you wanted to. This probably could have been a little longer, but something I could do is just go ahead and glue it. Now that I've got that look going up there, I could just go ahead and glue this knot so this stays like that, and then she won't have to tie it at all. She can just put it over the doll's head. But I think it's pretty cute. You can see how the shoulder straps turned out. Just kind of a little ruffle there. And I think it's really cute how the turquoise and then the green ruffle. And even though I did switch to green back here a little bit, I know my granddaughter would be like, why is it like that? But it just is.